For my Genius Hour project, I ended up making a cookbook of recipes for fifth grade level math. And I started out my Genius Hour project wanting to do something involving flexible seating and why it's important for younger ages. But then I kind of talked to Dr. Knable, and I'm a more of an upper elementary kind of person. So I went away from the flexible seating and moved back up into my comfort and like my focus area, which is definitely fourth, fifth, and sixth grade levels. So I ended up finding recipes, making recipes, and listing the ingredients in different recipes. And then I'll show you my project here in a second. And they had to add the different fractions of a certain ingredient together. So half a cup of flour and a fourth cup of flour for two different recipes, add them together, make it a common denominator, see how much they're going to end up needing. Um, so that's what my project is. I can kind of show you a little bit of it. So it's Cooking Up Math with Miss Ashball's fifth grade class. So I made a Canva, but I printed it out to be able to show you it because I'm filming this on my computer. So the first thing is a recipe card. So it has the list of each ingredient. So we have flour, sugar, butter, oil, baking soda, eggs, salt, chocolate chips, blueberries, and bananas. And then this section, they have to show me their work of what they added together. So if they do for recipe one, they needed two bananas. Recipe four, they needed one banana. Then, adding that together. And that one's easy. But if we move on down to like baking soda, if they needed 2 teaspoons, and the next one they needed 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then they would need to show their math here, add it all together, and then common denominators using them to show me the total amount they would need to be able to bake all the recipes together. So that's the recipe card. So I can just kind of flip through the recipes I have. So I have banana bread, which lists out, the bananas, the butter, the eggs, the vanilla, baking soda, and flour, and the different amount that they're going to need. So they would take these numbers, write them here in their recipe card, so then they can have a physical sheet to do math on, to do their addition and showing me their common denominators. So the next recipe I have is chocolate chip cookies. Um, so just, different ingredients. Once again, this one would involve chocolate chips. It's the only one that involves chocolate chips. So for the other recipes, they would put, like a zero that recipe number 4 didn't need any. So um, next up, I have sugar cookies. So once again, just all the recipe, all the ingredients and the amount that they need. I have cinnamon rolls, same thing, blueberry muffins, and the last one is cupcakes. So different ingredients that they would, say they were going to go to the store, hypothetically, and they wanted to be able to make all of these, then they would, they could take their recipe card with them. Once they've done the math, common denominator, they would know exactly how much they need to be able to bake all the recipes together at once. So, when forming my Genius Hour project, my big question was how can I incorporate math into something that is more fun and exciting and interactive rather than something that my students feel like they are forced to do and that they dread doing. Um, Doing a lot of, observations and time in fourth, fifth, and sixth grade classrooms, math is something that they do not like and that they do not want to do, and they feel of it more as a chore rather than something fun. So I definitely thought letting them, do addition in terms of, oh, we're going to make cookies and, blueberry muffins and banana bread and cinnamon rolls. And definitely with the e-learning going on, this is really good that you could, send this link to their parents because it's online and they could print it out. And then they could do this together. And if they wanted to, they could easily actually make one of the recipes for a real life experience of adding the amount of ingredients that they need, having them measure, a fourth of a cup, or having them do, okay, a fourth of a cup. Or if they needed a half, instead of making them do a half, be like, okay, if we want to use fourths cups, and just anything like that, it's really easy to get them to do at home with their parents during the e-learning period that we're in, which isn't something that's going to be common. But not only that, they can, take this home and do it on the weekends or do it on a day that we don't have school so that the kids are learning outside of the classroom. So I definitely think it's important because math is a core subject and it's something that we genuinely do use every day. And we might not be adding fractions every day, but we're using addition and, common denominators. Those are something that's frequently used. Even in something like we bake and cook all the time. So, knowing that, I am these fractions because when I'm, older, I'm going to want to bake and I'm going to want to cook and I'm going to need to be able to do all this. So yeah, and for me, I'm just passionate about math because it was my favorite subject, and it was my favorite subject because my math teachers always made math so fun and so interactive, and not made it feel like something that I was being forced to do. I always just enjoyed it and wanted to do more. And I really wish that I would have had something to take home like this, that, if I would be like, Mom, I'll make cookies, and then she could help me and we could measure stuff out together and learn about fractions hands on and in a real life scenario. And it's easy for other people to get involved too, because if you're working in a team of fifth grade teachers, you could each, come up with something like a math take home packet. And this could easily be, instead of a packet, I'm going to do a math take home cookbook, and they're going to take it home. Even if they don't actually make the recipes, they could fill out the recipe card and bring it back to me after the weekend and be like, oh, look what me and my mom did. And just stuff to take home and do during times when we're not going to meet in class, whether that's a weekend or a holiday or a snow day or anything like that. And it's easy for people to come involved, not only teachers but parents, because if you want your student to go home and you want their parents to be involved and help them, your student could easily take this home, do it with their parents. Um, and then even if it's not a mandatory thing that they bring back their recipe card, you could, have them come in, and if anybody did it, they could share what they did, how they did it, if they actually baked anything, made anything, and anything like that. So I really do think this is good, not only for e-learning, which it is targeted to right now just because of the situation that we're in, but it's also just something that you could do for an easy take home fun, not homework, but something that they could take home if they wanted to continue to work on their fractions in a fun way. So that was my Genius Hour project.